This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and once again I'm joined by Diego Pacheco here in Miami this time around. Diego, how are you? How is life?
I'm good, man. Life is great, man. Can't complain at all. Just happy to be here and ready to perform this Saturday.
It's good to hear. Now, obviously, you step into the ring with Rodolfo Gomez Jr. on Saturday night. Another step up for yourself, facing an unbeaten opponent and your first 8-rounder. Talk to me about that and any kind of change in your preparation stepping up into this 8-rounder.
Yeah, for sure, man. Coming in and facing a tough opponent, stepping up to 8 rounds, I for sure had to change my training, step it up a little bit. Sparring went up in rounds and all that. So, yeah, of course, I prepared different, and I'm ready, to show everyone that I'm here at 168.
Talk to me about you've just said there you want to show everybody you're here, you've arrived at 168. Rodolfo Gomez Jr. never been stopped before. Is this the kind of fight where you want to make that statement, you want to be the man to stop him?
Yeah, exactly, for sure, man. I was supposed to fight Rodolfo in December in the Smith and Canelo Undercard, but I ended up pulling out because I got sick and other things that happened were going on during camp. So, he had some things to say about me pulling out. So, I made sure that we kept that same opponent for the next time. I had my next fight, and we got him. So I'm ready to put a statement and knock this guy out.
What was he saying to you, or what was he saying about you when you did have to pull out through illness?
Nothing too bad. Just saying he didn't believe I was sick. He's calling me a punk for pulling out. But so I made sure that I'm gonna show him that I'm not no punk, and I didn't pull out. My team forced me to pull out. My team pulled me out. So that's the past. We're here now, and I'm ready to perform this Saturday.
So how does this fight play out in your own mind between yourself and Rodolfo?
Sorry, sir.
How does the fight play out between the pair of you?
He's like you said. He's a great fighter. He's tall. He's my height, but nothing that worries me at all. Nothing I can't handle. He's never been in there with someone like me. So, I see it. I see him not being able to go all 8 rounds with me.
Now, as we said earlier on, you want this to be kind of a chance for you to show you've arrived at 168. Moving forwards, if you're successful on Saturday night, have you thought about how the rest of this year plays out for you, or how far away maybe from title fights you feel you may be?
Yeah, once I get past this test on Saturday, I want to stay active and fight more 8-rounders so I can step up to 10 and, start being in the conversation as a contender in the 168 division.
Something I was going to ask you about, I believe win on Saturday takes you to 11-0. With that being the case now, from kind of the beginning of your professional journey until this point, what have you learned about the professional game?
I've learned a lot, man. Coming in as an experienced amateur into the pro games, it was a completely different change, but I feel like I've adapted well, and I'm real comfortable where I'm at, and yeah, just ready for anything.
I know you've had some brilliant sparring exploits in the past with the headline man of this fight, one of the headline fighters for this fight, for this card rather, in Canelo Alvarez. Talk to me about that, your learning experience, of sharing the ring with somebody who many consider the pound-for-pound star in the sport.
Yeah, I was in camp with Canelo for his last camp with Smith, and I learned a lot, man. He taught me a lot of things inside of the ring and outside of the ring, and it just boosted my confidence, being in there with the pound-for-pound king of the sport. And yeah, I was real grateful for the opportunity, and I took advantage of it 100%.
What was it in particular that impressed you most about sharing the ring with Canelo? What stuck out for you with regards to his own abilities?
Just his ring IQ. We see it from the outside and think it's great, but once you're in there with him, it's like hell. He's a great fighter. He's great defense, everything. Overall, a great boxer. So. For me to be able to give him good work and him liking the work I was giving him, it just boosted my confidence. And yeah, man, just took advantage of everything, being in the gym with him for 3 weeks, just picking his brain and learning as much as I could.
And what was the most valuable lesson for yourself being in there with Canelo?
The most valuable lesson, probably just, he's a guy who taught me, not really taught me, but he just motivated me, telling me to, keep going. I'm so young, that, I have the whole world in front of me to keep going, and that was pretty much it. I was, like I said, I pulled out due to things I was going through, so it was tough. I was going through some things at the time, so him just giving me those words and stuff was great for me.
And one thing I have to ask you about, obviously in the fight we saw Canelo was targeting Callum's left arm and he kind of ballooned up during the fight. Was you one of the men? Was you one of the men suffering that during the training camp?
Yeah, man. Those things he was doing to Canelo Smith, he was practicing on me. So yeah, it was tough. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, he's just some things that we haven't really seen from a lot of fighters. Canelo brings to the table.
And there's talk about, provided Canelo does overcome Andi on Saturday night, which foregone conclusion, anything can happen obviously in boxing. Just your thoughts on that fight to begin with, how does it play out?
I don't really know too much about his opponent, but I feel Canelo should be able to handle it easily. And I'm just excited to watch him with Billy Joe Saunders in May. And I'm excited to be on the undercard as well.
Talking about that one, so I take it you've already spoken to Eddie about getting yourself on the undercard, provided Canelo Saunders is 100% going ahead.
Yeah, for sure, man. Once I know I have to perform this Saturday. Put up a great performance for me to be able to be on those great undercards. So yeah, that's what motivates me to perform, to be able to stay on these big cards and put on great shows for all my fans.
Right, there you go. I've had enough of your time now, so I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch up with you later in the week. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.